We've thought about the character of King David and how that was wonderfully illustrated in the keeping of his promise to Jonathan and the grace that he showed to his son Mephibosheth. In today's reading, we're going to see how that spirit of helpfulness manifested itself in his kingdom, even by two men whom David described elsewhere as hard men. Our reading is from 2 Samuel chapter 10. We're going to read verses 8 to 11. And the children of Ammon came out and put the battle in array at the entering in of the gate. And the Syrians of Zobah and of Rehob and Ishtob and Makkah were by themselves in the field. When Joab saw that the front of the battle was against him before and behind, he chose of all the choice men of Israel and put them in array against the Syrians. And the rest of the people he delivered into the hand of Abishai his brother, that he might put them in array against the children of Ammon. And he said, If the Syrians be too strong for me, then thou shalt help me. But if the children of Ammon be too strong for thee, then I will come and help thee. You've maybe heard it said that the whole is greater than the sum of the individual parts. What that really means is that if we all pool our resources and work together, we can get a better result than if we were each to do our own thing individually. The obvious example of that is the human body. It's the whole body that can do things that none of the individual parts could do on their own. The Apostle Paul actually makes a point like that in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 21. The eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Each part needs the other parts to be able to fulfill its own function fully. It's only on a sinking ship that is about to go down that you hear the cry, every man for himself. Joab and Abishai with their forces were in a difficult situation in our reading. Both the children of Ammon and the Syrians were arrayed against them in battle, and Joab saw that the front of the battle was against him before and behind in verse 9. Things did not look good. Was it to be every man for himself, or were they going to work together? Well, Joab divided the army into two companies, one to face off against the Syrians and the other to face the Ammonites. He allocated tasks, he appointed duties, but listen to these additional instructions. Firstly, if the Syrians be too strong for me, then thou shalt help me, in verse 11. And then secondly, if the children of Ammon be too strong for thee, then I will come and help thee, also in verse 11. To put it a different way, he was saying, I'll be there for you, and you'll be there for me. Now that reminds me of these wonderful words used so often in the New Testament. I think it's 100 times. One another. They just mean me for you and you for me. Paul reminds us that we are members one of another, Romans chapter 12 verse 5. That we should be kindly affectioned one to another, Romans 12 verse 10. We should in honour be preferring one another, verse 10 of the same chapter. We should have the same care for one another, 1 Corinthians 12 verse 25. And by love we should serve one another, Galatians 5 verse 13. If these two hard men, brothers, could do it, why can we not? May the Lord help us all to develop and to exhibit this spirit of mutual help and service for one another in our lives. It was the Lord Jesus who said, By this shall all men know that you're my disciples, if you love one another.